Deny, defend, depose. They sit in their mansions and their palaces while people are dying. They deny, they defend, they depose. When people have to file bankruptcy, they don't know how they're going to pay for their insurance or their car payment or their house payment. They deny, they defend, they depose. Their whole business model is built on denial, defense, deposition. The three words sum up the American healthcare system. It's deny, defend, depose. You know, I had a different video planned for this beautiful setting here at Charlottenburg Palace, but I thought this is the absolute perfect setting for this talk. And I have not scripted this. This is just something that I thought of, and I wanted to talk about the American healthcare system versus the German healthcare system, albeit not really about the German healthcare system, but more just about the American healthcare system. And recently, this week, a man killed the CEO of United Healthcare, which is one of the largest insurance providers in the United States. Coincidentally, they have something like a 30% denial rate of claims, much higher than other companies' denial rates. So there's something wrong when your entire business model is built on taking money from people to secure the ability to get medical services when you need it, only then to get sick and actually need to use them, and your help to be denied. There's something so patently disgusting about that when you monetize human life, because that's what you're doing, you're monetizing human life. You're putting on a spreadsheet what someone's life is worth. And for you, it's easier to pay legal fees if you have to fight a claim than to actually pay out on the claim. It tells you a number of things. It tells you the system is fucked, for one thing. It tells you that costs are astronomical. But it also tells you that these companies, their entire purpose is to take money from you and to pay that money to other rich people. So these people are always against taxes, but this is a tax on the poor, the middle class, and giving it to the rich. That's what this is. That's what insurance is. If you're not going to be able to use it when you need to, it's simply a tax. And I don't understand why more people don't understand that. It boggles my mind. And the thing is, I've mentioned healthcare before, and that the insurance system in the US is such that you have to spend a certain amount of money before your insurance benefits actually kick in. So, say you're a relatively healthy person in their 20s or 30s, and your insurance deductible is $20,000. Until you hit that deductible, you're out of pocket. You have to pay the full amount for any treatment that you get. So, say you're a healthy person who never has to go to the doctor. You break a leg, you cut your arm, something like that. You have to go to the doctor to get treatment, and it costs $5,000. Well, unless you've hit your deductible, you have to pay that $5,000 out of your pocket. The hospital, the emergency room will send you a bill for that $5,000. Now, there are probably some discounts in there, which don't ever try to look at a medical bill. It will break your brain trying to figure it out. But you have to pay that money before insurance kicks in. Here in Germany, where everyone has insurance as well, it's an insurance-based system, like the British NHS, National Health Service. It's an insurance-based system. You have to purchase insurance. You either have a public option, like similar to what a proposed Medicare for all would have been in the US, which will never ever happen, or you have to buy private insurance, which is similar to the US as well, but with a lot more restrictions on it as to what they can charge you. You're never going to come out of pocket if you go to the hospital. You go to the hospital, you give them your insurance information. They do not send you a bill at the end of the day. Okay, it's covered. The doctor prescribed you some medication. You go to the pharmacy, you get your medication. I believe the max you can pay is 10 euros out of pocket. I'll put it on the screen, but I believe it's 10 euros. If you go to the doctor in the US, he prescribes you medication, and you could be out. Your copay on the medication could be $5, could be $25, could be $1,000. You may have to pay the entire amount. I've heard of certain drugs that treat HIV costing $10,000 per pill. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can you imagine $10,000? Meanwhile, the CEOs of these companies sit in their palaces, and then people all act all shocked and aghast when one of them is killed. Now, I'm not advocating for murdering people on the street, but I understand why somebody would be pushed to do that. This man wrote, "Deny, defend, depose" on the shell casings of the bullets that he used to kill this person. I'm not going to mention this person's name that was killed. He doesn't deserve having his name mentioned. Do I think killing people is a bad thing? Sure, I guess. Do I mourn this person? I do not. Do I mourn the fact that he has a wife and kids? I do not. When you sleep with dogs, you get fleas. I'm sorry. They need to know who his father was. They got wealthy on the backs of sick and dying people, on the backs of people being denied services that they had paid money for. It's not like people are asking for things for free. We pay this money to these companies in order to use their services. Imagine going to a carnival. You go to a carnival, you go to the Christmas market that's back here. You want to ride the Ferris wheel. You go buy tickets to the Ferris wheel, €4 a person, whatever. You buy tickets to the Ferris wheel. You go, you get in line, you get up to the front of the line, and the guy says, "I'm sorry, I can't let you ride the ride. This ticket doesn't cover this particular time of day at 3:33. This ticket is only good for 3:32. Sorry, it's 3:32 in 30 seconds. You're not allowed to ride this ride." That's essentially how American health insurance works. Every cent that they save on not paying out on claims affects the price of the stock, affects the bottom line, which makes the shareholders richer. So what incentive is there to ever pay out a claim? If they improperly deny a claim and they're sued, well, they defend. A plaintiff who then becomes a plaintiff has to hire an attorney. Attorneys aren't free. Attorneys aren't cheap. A lot of attorneys will take a percentage of any kind of settlement or any kind of victory at court in lieu of taking an hourly rate. But there's only so much that one attorney can do against these companies that have huge 400, 1,000 person attorney for law firms on retainer. There's only so much one guy can do. And a lot of times these insurance companies will just flood people with paperwork. Say, okay, you asked for discovery, you asked for these documents. Instead of, saying, no, I'm not going to give you these documents or, giving you what they ask for, they give these attorneys everything, so much more than they actually asked for that it's impossible to find what you're actually looking for. Coming from somebody who's been in this business, trust me, this is what they do. And when they say defend, that's what they mean. Defend. They defend these lawsuits until they can't anymore, and then they'll offer a settlement. Rarely do they go to trial, but sometimes they do. When we say depose, a deposition is sort of like a deposition is testimony. It's testimony given by a person as if they're in court. And these attorneys, they're very good at what they do. Okay, they are very good at what they do, and they will rip people up. Any excuse that they can find, any thread that they can pull that might make the person look bad, or might, give an excuse for not paying on the claim, they're going to pull that thread. That's their job. That's what they're hired to do. That's what they make a lot of money to do. So the entire system is built on deny a claim, defend a claim until they can't defend it anymore, and depose people. In this case, depose took on a different meaning, didn't it? In this case, depose took on deposing the CEO. Again, I don't defend murder. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, we should go kill all the CEOs," which, whatever. But I am going to say that we are living in a time where the wealthy are growing more and more wealthy, and the poor are growing more and more poor. And the divide is becoming incredibly big. And I think in the US that people, a lot of people, especially people who voted for the guy who just got elected, live in this fantasy land where they're just like one decision away from becoming the millionaire class, the billionaire class. They're one idea, they're one little push away from becoming that guy. When the reality is that class went up the ladder. The people that still could pull themselves up by the bootstraps, they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and then pulled the ladder up behind them and burned the bridges. A lot of metaphors in there. But when people realize they are not one step away from the millionaire class, that's when the guillotines come out. Now, I am not for murder, but from time to time, democracy has to be renewed with blood. I'm not calling for murder, but sometimes revolution is necessary. And at some point, revolution will be necessary. Is that time today? Is that time tomorrow? I don't know. But sometime revolution will be necessary. Deny, defend, depose. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. See you later.